We're going to go out to break with a clip from Bug's Life. Here it is.
It's just...
Well, there's a new demonization effort out, all part of the larger flipping the script from Al-Qaeda is going to get you, so we've got to take all your rights to... Oh, guess what? This whole Homeland Security architecture was set up for veterans, gun owners, libertarians, conservatives, and people that don't like the new global government. That's right, it does exist. After they told us it didn't, and now it does, and now we're going to arrest you if you don't like it. And we're going to shut off your power plants, Agenda 21, and we're going to take over, and we're going to grab your 10-year-olds and teach them how to be perverts in the public schools, and we're going to take your kids for abortions without parental consent and give them vaccines without it, even though that's illegal, because we're the big, fat, criminal government that took over. And now Kurt Nimmo has the article, Government Hypes White Supremacist Racial Holy War in Effort to Demonize Veterans. That's right. The veterans are going to start a holy racial war. And you saw the last Army report they're giving the troops that the Tea Party is working with Al-Qaeda. Yes, yes. The Tea Party is going to link up with Al-Qaeda. Oh, yes. So you better go after them, police. And then, of course, the Tea Party will start not liking police, and they happen to be gun owners, and so there'll be confrontations, and voila! See, I told you when all this was being planned in secret, this was coming. I said they would say, Tea Party works with Al-Qaeda. I told you that 4 years ago. The Tea Party first started. And you now see it. Mainstream news. And I remember seeing the internal TSA training videos, Homeland Security videos we were sent. We showed them here on air. And it was all, white people are the terrorists. They will be attacking. They're the type that believe in rural rights and the Second Amendment. They want to kill you, officers. The police, you know you've all been getting this. And now there's the public rollout, which means they're getting ready to go operational. Releasing people out of their psychiatric wards, wound up. I always call them wind-up toys, these guys they mind control, and then roll out to do a mass shooting. They even call them wind-up toys in the Bourne Legacy. I tell you, that movie, man, that screenwriter just is unbelievable. Because that's real, folks. Wow. Oh, but again, I mentioned this earlier. I told you this was coming. This is out of Reuters. They want to make you start having all the new cars with robots that watch you and listen to you inside the dash, and a camera hooked up to the police. Toyota said this about 7 years ago, but now it's coming. And then they track you by the mile and tax you. But for your safety, you can hit a button. It's like OnStar, basically mandatory for everybody. Government Star, because I guess it is government motors. And they admit the FBI listens to you without warrants, but it's fine. And then it will actually shout orders or then take control of the car because they're proving, they say, as I told you they would do, the Google cars are safer. So see, you can't drive. It's public safety. But you can pay extra insurance and maybe drive for now. And all the new tech, as the CIA director told you, has stuff wired into it, watching you, tracking you. Smart meters, they now admit, interfacing with the stuff in your house, all spying on you, all criminal, all seamlessly integrated by the Fortune 100 who openly meet at Bilderberg and openly are announcing world government and that they run Al-Qaeda in the CFR magazine last week, 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's just all in your face, world government, total insanity. Dan Badandi, working as one of the radio producers and video switchers in there, doing an excellent job, along with John Bound, Chris Alanese, and others. He just ran in with this. He said, yeah, it's all over the place. Look, vets feel abandoned after secret drug experiments. Oh, CNN. Now they just don't make them secret. Oh, they have a new nasal spray that wipes their conscience, and it helps them kill better, and then they give them an amnesic because they admit they go to villages and kill everyone. That's been in the Ithaca Times, Fox News. And they say that's a good thing. But the troops don't feel good, even though they were told it was good. Doesn't matter. They've got a cocktail of several drugs. One of them, Halcyon. That's the name I can remember. It's the drug they give you where it's partial sedation, where they give it to you and rip your wisdom teeth out, and you don't even remember it. You can tell somebody on Halcyon, hey, go to your house and give me your money. It's basically like devil's breath. Oh, jump off the cliff. Yeah. My dad's a dentist. I've seen people assisting him doing wisdom teeth. I used to be a dental assistant like 20 years ago, right out of high school for a couple of years. And I've seen it. People on Halcyon don't even know who they are. Well, the troops, yeah, you just killed a bunch of people. We're going to give you 3 times the regular dose and go in there. We're going to do some diagnostics. You know what they do? While they're on the Halcyon, they give them an electroshock. They have mobile field units. This will be, the NSA is going to be freaking. I've talked to 2 separate Special Forces operators who had their memories wiped after they were given Halcyon and then shocked, but then some of the technicians told them about it. Oh, yeah. Nothing like running blue lightning across the frontal lobe of the troops. And then they're a little depressed when their IQ goes down. We'll just put you on Prozac that makes you commit suicide. Yeah. That's how you support the troops. That's right. The government wouldn't hurt us. They wouldn't do 9/11. They just killed 4,000 plus U.S. foster children in radiation experiments. It's on the Department of Energy's website, but they wouldn't hurt us. Words are very unnecessary. We know we're living in tyranny. A couple other news items here that I wanted to hit. And when I see an article like this is how my brain works. I remember the connections to it. Because they always come out and announce these tyrannies like it was just invented. Like, we're the first to have special forces run checkpoints in our town. You mean the first of 10,000 that have already been had it done? This is out of Dartmouth, a newspaper. Dartmouth researchers developed smart bracelets to track people's medical and brain waves and everything. Well, yeah, and then we happen to have the backstory. Bill Gates' magic boredom measuring bracelets. They want for public school children to track their heart rate, brain rate, and everything else so teachers can know if they're paying attention. This is all part of the medicalization, mind control takeover. This guy is over researching the GMO at Monsanto he owns part of, on how to engineer GMO to create gut problems. Then he dominates creating cures for the gut problems, all the gut flora problems that GMO is causing. He's also involved in weather weapons. He gets tax money, and then he runs the companies that do it. You can just look up, they just dumped a bunch of sulfur dioxide on New Mexico in one of his big studies. I mean, this is a lunatic control freak. And so I thought I would just mention that. And again, U.S. testing talking cars to avoid crashes and congestion. What they are is cars that surveil you with the police, tracking you and taxing you and taking control of your car. That's where everything's moving. And now there it is in Reuters. Here's another one. Robot to throw the first pitch at Detroit Tigers game. We're not against technology. But the problem here is that it's all being backdoor engineered with Trojan horses to control us. They're now coming out with synthetic ground police robots. They'll follow orders. They'll kill unarmed people. They're coming out with autonomous drones that humans don't control, that the globalists can program. They've said at MIT and DARPA, the globalists that run our country, that this is what they want. Humans out of the equation. Bill Joy said 12 years ago, he said, owner of Sun Microsystems. He said, I was at a meeting with 200 top tech people and owners, billionaires, and we discussed, do we kill everybody? Or do we just let them kind of play games and have fun and let robots run everything? And the consensus was, we're probably just going to kill everybody. And then he quotes the Unabomber who'd been in CIA mind control. That's LA Times. Theodore Kaczynski was in the MK Ultra program. This stuff's real. And he starts quoting him. That's why Kaczynski went wild and was actually in his writings saying this was all coming. I mean, this is the big enchilada. This is the big issue. Now, shifting gears, we have the executive director of Channel Austin, what has been Access Television in Austin, Linda Latowski, who I've known, I don't know, for about a decade or so. For the 40th anniversary of Access Television, and Access began in Austin, Texas. So this is important everywhere. We'll give you a few tips here on air. I started out in 1995 going and taking the classes and stuff. Got on air in I guess, because I was only on other people's shows until 96 as a producer in 96. 6 months later, got a radio show. A year later, got syndicated. But I stayed still on Access till about 6, 7 years ago. I'd go down there some, but 20, 30 fans would show up, and so I just couldn't be there anymore. But we use it as a studio sometime. Great folks. But even though I was pretty much gone 7, 8 years ago, I discovered, I'm going to talk about this first, Linda. I discovered, because she hadn't been there in years, she'd been there early on, that there was fraud going on. They were bringing in enough money to run it, but claiming they were going to shut it down, basically with operatives in government and media that wanted it gone. And I basically ran an investigation on them, recorded them, did some stuff, and we had sent the director to prison. But it went a lot higher than that, but the investigation got killed because it was city-run. Now, Linda, came in, cleaned the whole thing up, stopped the violation of our First Amendment and all the things that were going on. It was pretty darn sordid. They're trying to get rid of it now, basically, but I wanted to advertise that if you want to go somewhere and immediately air documentaries, clips of things, do your own show, don't want to be on there, just put an image up, talk over it, get down there. Austin Access has hundreds of thousands of viewers in the aggregate. You do a show once, it'll air 10 times or so after. We take our nightly news show, and John Bound takes it down there as a producer and puts it on as a service to Austin. Huge viewership. You need to get down there because the more members it has, they try to run everybody off, but Linda helped keep it together. The plan was to basically shut it down. From our analysis, from our research, that's what it looked like was happening. But just recap for folks, how many years ago was that I hired the private investigator and snuck around and caught him?
I believe it started in 2004, and he went on trial 2006. The city audit department ran an investigation based on what you uncovered.
And they found, how many hundreds of thousands was it missing?
$352,000 he stole.
Convicted of that?
He was convicted of that, 7 years to Huntsville prison, but he only served 15 months.
Huntsville, that's an enjoyable prison in East Texas.
Exactly.
No air conditioning.
Most of the time.
Yeah, but...
it was a severe sentence for a white-collar crime, but he was not ordered to pay any restitution, even though this was funds for the community. He paid nothing in restitution. Well,
you know why? Because, the word is, our research shows it was not just him that was involved.
That's true. The focus of the investigation was on him as that he acted alone, even though there was a lot of speculation that some board members were in on this as well.
Well, it wasn't just that. It went into the city, and that's why they killed it real quick. And then once they can say he's an ex-con, then they can try to discredit everything. But it was pretty amazing. He actually, at a telecommunications meeting, came up to me and threatened me. And I said, look what I do to the government every day, buddy. You think that's going to work? I said, now I'm coming after you. And that's when I actually pulled the trigger and really focused on him. Yes. I was like, you're going to threaten me?
I think without you, Alex, he never would have come down. They never would have brought him down. And I don't believe that the city would have conducted such an in-depth investigation through the audit.
Well, I just want to say, people always think these bullies are invincible until you actually confront them. It's like Fast and Furious or anything. We just got to keep pushing. Yeah. Well, he told me, he said, I will kill you. And I said, well, go ahead and try. And I said, that's it. Now I'm going to get you.
He was an ex-Marine and a bookkeeper, and it was kind of an unusual circumstance that he was actually running the place.
But see, I use violence of InfoWar, and I told him, I said, now I'm coming after you.
And you did. You went before City Council, you went before the Telecommunications Commission, and you made it public. You brought it into the light, and I think people were. It was, I guess, it was your power or your.
Well, it's not even that. It's just the power of light on it.
It was your celebrity, your notoriety, your reputation. All of those things added up to make it happen. That's.
I didn't really follow. He pled guilty, didn't he, finally?
No, I don't believe he did.
I was just going from memory.
Yeah. He showed no remorse whatsoever when he was called to testify. There was a number of us there in the courtroom. He did not ever say he was sorry. He never offered to pay anything back. He used most of the money for University of Texas football tickets. He flew to all the away games. He had cable and he bought a house and all sorts of stuff. So it was kind of a